Hello, wonderful people. Logan here, and in this video, I am going to probably title it something along the lines of The War on Human Consciousness. I was just at the gym. I decided to take a break from a long day of work, and I went and did some pull ups, push ups, dips. And what I noticed was really interesting. This is a concept that has been on my mind for quite some time, it's been percolating. But when I was walking around, I noticed something very interesting. It's afternoon, and everyone that I walked by, there a lot of people were in parks. Everyone was on their phones. I even walked past a homeless man who was on his phone, laying on a cardboard box. And the interesting thing was, I saw this couple. They were spending time together in the park, sitting in nature, and they were just glued to their phones, doing whatever they were doing on the phones. And I've noticed this in my own behavior as well. I'm taking a Portuguese class right now, and it's 4 hours a day, and I find myself reaching for my phone throughout the class because my attention span isn't as long as it used to be. And so, interesting enough, interestingly enough, we are in a time now where the human consciousness is being taken. And that might sound very woo woo or esoteric, but it's true. What's happening now is everything that we see in our reality is, for the most part, some kind of advertisement or some kind of thing trying to grab our attention. If you live in a city, it's impossible to not drive past billboards, which are now all technologically advanced and sending a bunch of blue light to your eyes. Everywhere we go, we're being sold some product or some service. And our cell phones now are glorified slot machines. Every application is designed with certain colors and certain methods to grab our attention. And so this isn't to sit here and bash technology. I'm using a phone right now to shoot a video which will then go on YouTube and other platforms to support my business. What I am doing, however, is using this platform to remind and educate not only myself, but other people of the implications of losing the most valuable gift we have, which is presence. There's a reason why the present is a gift. And I've found time and time again throughout my life, I've had a lot of adverse events in my life. I've gone through a lot of adversity that I've overcome. And ultimately, what I've learned through those lessons, when I was going through pain, I tried to escape. And it's normal. Why wouldn't anyone want to escape pain? But what I've learned from my journey now of going through and understanding emotions, all emotions that pass through the human vessel, it's not how do I get out of this situation so I don't have to live it anymore. It's how can I feel into this and release it. And ultimately, what all this technology is doing is it's allowing us a distraction from actually being inside of ourselves. We're grabbing this device to get outside of current reality. When if I'm in a park and I sit down and this thing dies, I have to sit with myself. Most of the time, most people will just go back home and charge their phone. And I think the big thing is most people are so afraid to be bored. They're so afraid to sit within themselves. And this video is a reminder for me to get off my phone more, to spend more time in presence, to spend more time doing parasympathetic activities, resting, meditating, not having stimulation. One of my friends has a coaching program. His name's Alan Howard. I went through it. It's called The Path. One of the challenges requires a digital detox. And it's extremely powerful because after a couple of days of not having any stimulation, no books, no audiobooks, no writing, no journaling, nothing, no cell phones, just you alone and your thoughts, preferably next to nature. It changes you. It puts you back into the person that you're meant to be. Because the world we live in right now, it's very synthetic. That's the best word I can come up with, is synthetic. Everything is plastic. We have microplastics everywhere. Um, Tons of girls have fake boobs now. Everything is plastic. Everything is not real. And we're getting further and further away from connection with nature, connection with family, connection with self. And I can go on a whole entire rant on agendas that people might have in order to implement more and more of this. That's beside the point. The point is, people and things are going to try and steer you off your course for the agenda that the world has. And ultimately, it's up to you to take full responsibility for how you show up for yourself and your family. The more that you can align yourself with being more conscious as a human, connecting to yourself more, connecting to God if you believe in that, if not, spirituality. If you're an atheist, take a look at yourself. And really just connecting more to the world. Going and doing things that don't require you to rely on other people's stories and timelines in order to feel better briefly about yourself, which actually makes you feel worse. Going and experiencing life, going and doing things. I think ultimately that is the biggest FU to society. We can all talk about how we think politicians are wrong and how everything's going wrong in the world. I think ultimately at the end of the day, we are the creators of our reality. And of course, there are things in society I don't agree with, and I don't like things being imposed upon me if I don't agree with them. But that being said, it doesn't help me to allow those things to completely take away my responsibility to myself to say that I'm fully responsible for how I feel and how I show up in the world. And so this video is really being made because I think we're going into a very interesting time where AI and robots are on the rise, and 2029 is already a date that some researchers, there was a guy in Joe Rogan, was basically saying AI will pretty much completely take over. Who knows if that's true or not? All I know is more and more things are going to become people plugging themselves into virtual reality. People no longer living the human experience. It's almost like a self-deletion from the main game that we're playing here by going into a virtual reality where you don't really have to feel anything, and you can just receive stimulation and feel like it's the form of pleasure. But at the end of the day, your body's just being used like a battery, just like in the Matrix. So I think right now, a lot of people have complained about slavery, how bad it is. I think now there are more people who are enslaved than ever. There are more people on this world than have, I don't want to say ever been, than our science currently says. And the interesting thing about that is I see a lot of people walking around who are slaves. They're not conscious. And I'm not saying that to belittle anyone or saying that to say I'm better than anyone. I'm saying that just to say, like, I used to be there and I'm here now and I feel way different in my body. And I have amazing people around me. Battery alert. Amazing people around me who are more conscious, and there's a certain level of living that we've lost. There's a certain level of living that has been completely decimated from how our ancestors used to live, how the Native Americans lived. A connection to land, a connection to animals, a connection to other humans, a connection to community and tribe. And that has been completely lost. And it's almost like there's a system in place to separate people. This is my money, this is my thing. I'm gonna try and take as much as I can so I can beat my neighbor over here, build a bigger fence than him. My house is bigger than his house. I'm cooler. That's the vibe now. And there's no other way to say it, but like there's a reason why people are more depressed than ever. There's a reason why people are sicker than ever. The world has become one big business, and corporation, especially in the US, to take profits from people and make more and take more. So it's not a game I choose to play. I am in the realm of helping people. I'm in the realm of helping people get out of states that they no longer want to be in so they can live the life they feel they deserve. If you're interested in potentially working together, whether it be in the health space or it being in stepping up into the person you want to be, feel free to reach out to me or join my email list below and we can chat further. You can follow me on X, I'll put the link below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take care. Late.